we're going to jump right into host coaching, because now that you have these workshops booked, and the most important step is keeping the date, and that's why we set those. We set that criteria in the booking list is really to help you keep that date. You want to keep the workshop on the date that it's scheduled, and that comes from great host coaching. And host coaching starts right now. You don't wait until January or right before the workshop. It starts right now. So Diane Shimp has agreed to come on and do some host coaching. She taught a class with us online on one of our other calls a while back, and she did such a great job. And I know that she does workshops all the time. So I'm excited for you to be able to hear from her. She also created the host coaching checklist that she's going to talk about. She's even taken time to have them revamp it just for the January workshop. So let's turn the time over to Diane. Are you there, Diane?
I am.
Good, and we can hear you great. So I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you, Patty. Well, I just first want to congratulate everybody. How amazing. Like, I'm so excited for you guys and everyone that has all those workshops booked. You are going to have a fabulous year. So super excited about that, and I'm just really excited to be able to talk to you about this. This is a topic that I think is super important to our business, but it's also one that is easy to overlook. You know, we go through all the trouble of getting a workshop booked, and the host coaching part's just kind of one of those things that, you know, it's kind of easy just to sort of let it go until just maybe a few days, even a week before the workshop, and then you kind of start chatting with the hostess. And so we're going to go and talk in detail about some ways that you can have a super successful workshop. I always say that if you want a successful workshop, then you've got to do great host coaching. That's what I've, you know, taught my team, and I have personal experience of this. Last year, I was a brand new consultant. I did this booking blitz, had no idea what even was, got on the call just like you guys did, and was able to book about 12 workshops in December. In January. And I remember I just kind of let it go, didn't really do anything, and that very first workshop in January came around, and it was just maybe a few days, maybe a week before at the most, and I called that hostess, and she was like, yeah, I'm not really ready. I haven't really, you know, asked anybody, and at that moment I realized, wow, wait a minute, I need to do some work here before my workshop. So that's what we're going to encourage you guys to all do, and I'm really excited about this. So we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so first of all, the 3 reasons for host coaching. Okay, so keep these 3 reasons in mind. Again, like I said, a lot of times, you know, it's going to take a little bit of effort, right? But keep these 3 things in mind, and that'll help you to understand the effort you're going through. So number 1, the first reason of host coaching is to keep okay, I think there's a thing there, but basically you want to keep that workshop date booked, right? Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is you want guests at the workshop, right? You want to have guests there. And the third thing is to get sales. Hostess rewards are for her, and commission and growth for you. Okay, isn't that great? So keep those 3 things in mind, guys. You want to keep that workshop date set the workshop, and to get sales. Okay, so this is a really fun tool that we have put together to help you guys to basically have a checklist for your coaching. This is going to be found in your VO library. We did make it so that the new special host rewards for January are right down here on the right-hand side. But we're going to kind of pick this apart, okay? So you don't have to try to read it off your screen right now. We're going to go through each part of this, okay? The main thing I want to share with you on this is how I use this is I'll tell you at the end. Oh, it's okay. Okay. So how I use this is what I do is once that workshop's booked, I take that host coaching checklist and I staple it onto all of my orders. And that way I can always go back and know what it is that happened at that workshop. Okay. The second tool that we're going to give you is right here, and it's a workshop invitation template. I am super excited about this. This is also going to be found in the VO library, and this is going to be in a Word document. So you will be able to go through and put your own personal hostess information here at the top of this, the hostess, the name of the hostess, when, where, etc. And even at the very bottom, if you see that, you're going to put your own consultant information down there, okay? And this is something, the way that this is going to work, if you would like to use it, you simply download it onto your computer, you change out the information, and you're able to email this to your hostess, right, that has her information on it. She can then email this to all of her clients. Now, of course, the key to this is, guys, you need to make sure you tell her that this is not her only form of communication. She has got to call her guests, okay? So what I recommend is I have her call them first and then say, "Hey, I am inviting you to this, and look for this in the email. Let me know if you don't get it, but look for this invitation in email, and then I'll be calling you back." And then she does, of course, a follow-up call, right, to see, yes, are they coming? Okay, so she's going to talk to them a couple different times. So I have found in my team super beneficial, okay? So look for that in the VO library. Okay, so what I was telling you is we're going to take this apart, back to the host coaching checklist. We're going to take this apart. So the first one is the communication part. Now, you're going to look at all those little bullets and go, holy cow, that's a lot of communication. But you know what? Again, putting a little bit of work into this is going to give you great success. So let's go ahead and chat about each one of these. So first of all, the first one is her hostess packet. So when do you need to give that to her? Immediately, right? Usually you're going to just give it to her from a workshop that perhaps she's booked, so you need to make sure you have your hostess packets ready to go for those hostesses that book, okay? I have mine just in a little cello bag, and put that. We have a workshop planner that's awesome that I use all the time. You want to put a couple of order forms in there, at least one or two, and a idea catalog, and I usually put in like a big size candy bar. I don't know. It just makes the ladies love it. They love chocolate. So that's what I do, okay? So if they're not there and you like do it over the phone like you guys did for the booking blitz, you might need to mail those out, okay? But either way, get those to them right away. The second is I email the hostess a letter and that guest invitation that I just showed you. The letter is just simply saying, thank you so much for booking a workshop with me, and here's some things to help you to have a successful workshop, and I have about 5 or 6 things listed, okay? And this, again, is just another form of communication. Then we're going to start with the host coaching calls 1, 2, and 3. There's 3 main calls, and we're going to talk. We're going to kind of break those down here, but that's going to be about 2 weeks out, 1 week out, and 2 days out, okay? So we'll talk about those in details. Then we're going to do a hostess final call. That's the day of. That's a really quick call. Just, hey, I'm coming. You know, just let her know that, you know, you're there. And then finally, the day after, okay, you want to do a thank you call. You also want to finalize anything with the workshop, outside orders, anything like that. And then finally, a hostess thank you card. So important, guys. Why? Because you want her to book a workshop with you next year at this time, right? So if you do this and you do these little things and you help her have a successful workshop, she's gonna book again with you, okay? And that thank you card goes a long way. And I would just simply have something ready to go. You can even direct ship it, you know, through Studio. So anyway, okay, so that's the communication. That's a little checkoff list there. And of course, just put the dates for your own self, for your own records, okay? All right, go ahead, go to the next one.
Dan, we had a question on
Sure.
the invitation. Do you ask your host to hand deliver those, have her mail them, or do you mail them?
Good question. Any and all of those. Like I said, I do send that letter along with the attached attachment, right, the Word doc template, the invitation. I have it all ready to go, so I do it for her. And then I encourage her then to email it to her guest, right? I also encourage her to print it off and to hand deliver to those people that she can. So let's say she's, at work, she can hand deliver those, then she does do that. And a little bit of it depends on the person. Some people I go ahead and make some printed copies for and give it to them. It kind of just depends on your hostess and what you know that she'll do, right? So she can print those. You can also offer to get her addresses and mail them out to the guest as well. So again, I kind of take each one individually, but more often than none, just generally emailing it out tends to do the job. Okay, so now we're going to talk about these 3 host coaching calls, okay? So the first one is going to probably be your most important one and your most lengthy one. Again, keep track of that call. Don't go overboard. Understand that she, is a busy person. And so, but I usually just start the call by just, again, thanking her for doing this. I'm really excited to be able to come and share this with your friends and your family. And I'm really excited to be able to get you some free publishing money. So I am, I want to help you do that. So that's usually how I kind of start off, okay? If you know her, talk a little bit of personal stuff with her. Just, hey, how's she doing? How did that Christmas party go that you knew that she was going to? Like, try to, be a little bit personal. People like that. They don't always want to be just, quote, all business. So if you can put a little bit of that in, that's great. Some gals, we don't know so well, right? Maybe we just, met them at a booth real quick and they put that they would book a workshop from us. So again, you can still try to, hey, did you have fun at the booth? Were you able to get some fun stuff for your family for Christmas? Or, whatever. Just try to make some small talk with them. Then we want to talk about these pertinent things. Number 1, guests, okay? And you're going to notice on all 3 of these calls, you're going to talk about guests because that is the most important thing at this point. So number of guests to invite. You're going to talk to her about how many should she invite, okay? Most people are going to think, okay, I want 5 people there, so I'll invite 5 people. No, you need to encourage her to invite 20 people if she wants 5 people there, okay? And then her attendance goal, talk with her about that. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. Let her tell you how many people she wants there, because once she says it, that helps to commit her, okay? So talk about that. The next thing is talk about her hostess rewards and just go over, oh, I forgot. The other thing I attach on that email is I always attach the hostess rewards flyer, okay? That way she can see exactly, and I do put that in the packet as well, so she can see what she needs. So we can say, okay, look, if you want a $300 workshop, you're going to get this amount of hostess, publishing points, free publishing points. So you can, make sure she understands that. Again, you want to set that goal with her. The next is how to invite. This is really important because a lot of them, they don't know what to say, especially with our industry. It's very different because it's not that, hey, here's a purse or a lotion or whatever. It's a little bit different, so you need to help her. One thing I want to stress, though, is to say this to her, and actually say this. Do not say to your guest, come, but you don't have to buy, because guess what? That happens. I had a workshop not too long ago where I forgot to tell her this, and the hostess actually said that to everybody. And guess what? Nobody bought, but I don't know, maybe one person. So if they say that, then they have that breakout. So, so make sure you always say that. Okay, the next is the studio demo and publish. So encourage your hostess to publish a project, okay, even if it's just a card. If, obviously if time is a problem, I've had them do this. Go into studio, make a card, direct ship it to yourself. They'll get it in less than a week, and they have a card there to share. And I had a hostess who did this, who only had the card, and she started crying when I had her talk about the project that she made. She had made a card for, I think it was her husband or something, and she started crying. And there were about 10 people at the workshop, and all 10 people bought. So if you can get your hostess to share her little magic moment, even if it's with a card, you know, and she can emotionally connect with them, she just almost did the work for you, okay? So those are, and again, give her a studio demonstration if she doesn't, you know, if she's never published or done that. Okay, the next call about 1 week before, you want to get her excited about the hostess rewards that she's going to receive. Just remind her about why she's doing this, how many guests are confirmed to come. At that point, she should start having some confirmations, and encourage her to get outside orders. And you can even go in and talk to her about how to do that and what she can say. The third call is about 2 days before. You want to remind her to make those reminder phone calls to her guests. You can also offer to do it for her. I have found a lot of mine, they just want to do it, fine. You want to talk about the agenda, just, you know, simple refreshments. You might want to talk about where things are going to be, if you need a DVD, computer, just things like that, okay? You just want to kind of, so that everything's already kind of talked about before you get there. And then, of course, you want to ask her, did she get her project published? And if she did, at that time I say, would you mind sharing that? Just, you know, talking a little bit about how you felt when you got it and how easy it was and that type of thing. And she's always, you know, more than willing. Okay, so if you kind of let her know in advance, it helps a little bit too. Okay, so these are the 3 calls, guys. Super important, okay, super important.
Okay, and before we go on to the next slide, there was a question that came in. When you talk about with your host how to invite, they're asking, can you like role play tell what you say? How?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So what I tell my my hostess is I'll just say to her, and you can even put this in your email like a little blurb if you want. And I know there's some in the planner, the hostess planner that Heritage Makers supplies us. There's some verbiage in there as well that's very helpful. But basically what I do is I just tell her to say, you know, hi, this is Mary, and I'm super excited about this. I'm having a workshop for this awesome company called Heritage Makers. And what it is just like an online publishing system. You don't have to, like, it's not software. And they're going to teach us how we can preserve our memories. And it's just like these really cool, like, digital storybooks, and we can make canvases and prints and all this fun stuff. And they're going to teach us how to do that. And so I just wanted to invite you to come to it and have a good time and be able to learn about that. Okay, like that simple. The main thing that you want to tell your hostess is this: be excited. Okay, that is what I have personally realized, that if I really hone that into her, that when she's inviting them, she needs to be excited about it in her voice, in her, you know, her mannerisms, her face, all of that. I tell her to smile. You know, just like we know, right? When you guys asked all those people to book your workshops, you smiled when you were talking to them, and they felt that, and that's why they booked from you. So you need to convey that to her. So she needs to be smiling and excited, and that's going to help them. Okay? So they need to keep it simple, but just be really enthusiastic.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I will.
You're welcome.
Move you forward.
Okay. So here's another part is the January special host rewards. We just put this right on the flyer to make it super simple for you so you could keep track of that gal, right? And so here we go. You guys probably know about these, but just holding the workshop that's originally booked, she'll get points from that. Turn your guest list with phone numbers in 3 days before, so you can just have her, you know, email those to you, super simple. For each guest in attendance, you can give her 2 points. The 3 new Club HM memberships, right? So talk to her about this and tell her you're going to get 10 extra free publishing money for getting 3 club members. Now, Patty, I have a question about that. Would that include her own? Like, if she was not on club yet, would that include her own?
If she's not a member yet, absolutely. I would encourage her to have joined from the party she booked. But if she hasn't been and she's not on club, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Like, having them already be on it, guys, that helps sell it too. But if they're not, then this will be an encouragement for them. Receive additional 10 points when your workshop reaches $250 in sales. So knowing that, when you're doing that host coaching, you want to tell her, you know what, we want to at least get this to $250. And I would really say $300, because I always tell them, like, that kind of seems big to them. But if you say, you know what, if you get 3 people on Silver Club, that's the $50 club, and they do the $50 sign-up special, that's a $300 workshop right there. And look at everything you just achieved. So that's the way I would approach it. 2 outside orders from guests who couldn't attend. So that's, again, in your host coaching, right? You're going to talk about the outside orders. Have a guest sign up as a consultant. That's awesome. So tell her, talk about it with your friends. And especially if she knows someone, tell her to tell you their name, and you can kind of focus on them. And accomplish any of these 5 above for an additional 10 points. So make sure that host rewards sheet that you're going to email her or she's going to get, it's going to have this on it. I'm pretty sure, right? Doesn't the updated one have this on it? So she'll see it, but go over it with her, okay? So it's your job to kind of help her to maximize this. So, and we put it right on there for you to make it simple.
Hey, Diane, I just noticed that they left off one of the items here. So this is already posted in the library. The invitation is not posted yet. We'll get that posted on Monday. The one that they left off is if the host signs up as a consultant, they get the 20 points and the coupon. And so we'll have that added and updated on Monday. So.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great. All right, and guys, in the future, you can still use these host coaching checklists. I think we'll revise it to just kind of not be the Booking Blitz one, but just a general one. And you can still use these as like your own personal incentive once the company ends theirs. Okay, then we have here at the bottom left-hand corner of the Hostess Coaching checklist is your workshop final figures, okay? This really helps me to identify what happened in that workshop quickly and at a glance, right? So you're just going to say, here's the total workshop sales, the total clubs that you got, total bookings, right, future workshop bookings you got, total potential consultant leads, and then the hostess rewards, what she earned, the special hostess rewards that she earned, and then the total. And again, what I do is I then take this, right, it's all done, workshop's done. Of course, now that it's over, I'm sending her, I'm calling her and thanking her, I'm sending her a card and thanking her. What I do is once I close that workshop, I attach this form to my order forms. And it's just my own personal way. You do not have to do this, but this is just what I do. I attach it to the top of my order forms, kind of like a cover sheet, and then I file that away in January. So this is all the ones that I had for January, and all those go in a file. So next January, that's going to be one of the people that, or next December actually, that's going to be my January. I'm going to pull those out and ask every one of them to book a workshop with me again, okay? And you'll be able to see exactly how her workshop was. Remember last year, you earned like 130 publishing points for a $300 workshop, like that, okay? Okay, so host coaching is worth it, okay? So the first thing, guys, is if you put a little bit of time in this, your workshop will not be postponed or canceled, okay? Things do happen, life happens, but generally speaking, it's not going to be because it wasn't prepared, okay? The next one is the guests will come to the workshop. That's ultimately what you want, right? You want guests to attend. You can have a workshop, but if you don't have guests there, obviously it's not going to be successful. So you want those guests to attend. The third is the hostess will be on Club HM. She'll publish and share her magic moment with her friends. So as you did those host coaching calls and you coached her and helped her, she's going to be able to share all these 3 things. The next is that the guests will purchase, and ultimately that's what we want, right? So that you can have sales and that she can have hostess rewards. And then finally, you will receive potential consultant leads and additional bookings. And why are you going to receive those? Because you know what? When that workshop is successful, I promise you, you are going to have people, well, you're going to, of course, at the workshop talk about potential consultants, talk about our business opportunity, and you're going to have people come up to you and say, I want to do what you do, because they see how much fun you're having and how successful it is. And then, of course, they're not going to be afraid to book a workshop because they're going to see how much fun and successful that their friend had. Okay? So those are all things that of reasons of why host coaching is so worth it. So thank you so much, guys, for taking some time here to hear a little bit about host coaching, and I hope that these business tools will help you to have great, successful workshops in January and on. So good luck to you.